that Paul was shocked at how hard it was to trade Nino Niederreiter. And when he finally found somebody that was willing to take Nino, I think he just forgot that he could have gotten a better return, or maybe sometimes taking a bad return and another team's problem is not the way to go. I don't know if he could have gotten Justin Falk, but that would have been a way. Another problem with just some of the things that to me Paul did is that, and goes back to the Boudreaux question and not being helped this year, is that of all the trades that Paul made, none of them addressed the issues that were created by the injuries of Matt Dumba. He never addressed that. And the injury of Mikko Koivu, he never addressed that. He never addressed that they needed a right shot right wing. He just added a couple left wings in Donato and Fiala that now create bigger problems because now more guys are playing out of position. So in a lot of ways, I just feel Bruce has been absolutely handicapped this year and not helped. And I just think it's going to be a dire shame if Bruce pays the price for the injuries of this team and then a bunch of trades that anybody that saw the trades when they happened and you add them all up together realize that this team was not going to be good enough to make the playoffs. And so, but again, to the Tom Fitzgerald thing, who knows? I think that Tom, at the end of the day, would have looked at this organization and also saw what Paul saw, and that they're just not good enough to go on a long run, and probably would have figured out a way to start breaking up the core. But I don't think he would have blown a hole through the core. And when I say blow a hole through the core, I'm also thinking in the back of my head how he tried to trade Zucker on that same day as well. So in a span of 5 weeks, he almost traded all four of the Wild's, 26-year-old core guys that were all 2010 draft picks, and I don't think Tom Fitzgerald would have even considered that.
Great answer. I think that's a pretty good place to stop. Do want to thank Twill in the United Gallery. We'll do one more Twitter question. Thanks to Twill in the United Galleria, Fixologyrepair.com, Tony Hoagland, your State Farm agent, Champlin, and BiteSquad.com, promo code TalkNorth for your first delivery fee. Thanks to our producer, Brandon Morton. Thanks to all of our listeners. We really appreciate it. Last question. I'll do this for your final thought, or your final sigh. From Kevin Luckow, which current Wild players of the ones eligible do you expect will be joining Iowa for the AHL playoffs?
Well, I think all three that were made eligible right before the trade deadline will, or on the trade deadline day, and that's Donato, Greenway, and Cunnin. And that's one reason why it intrigues me to go down to Iowa, a couple times, hopefully on a long playoff run, to go watch that team. I'd like to see the way Belpedio plays. I'd like to see the way Donato, Cunnin, and Greenway play in a playoff run. And I'd like to see, how some of these prospects that they just sent down there, Nick Boca, Jack Sadak was signed today to an ATO. They put Tyler Sheehy down there. I'd like to see how they play, and I'd like to maybe do a feature on Kakkonen. So Iowa's going to be intriguing to watch here down the stretch, but I think all three of those players will be.
And he had one follow-up. Can players on ATO be eligible for the AHL playoff action?
Yes. So Sadak, Sheehy, Boca, anybody else they signed to ATOs are eligible for the playoffs, and that's kind of a weird loophole down in the AHL. I mean, you can essentially stack your team up. A team that maybe didn't have a lot of depth can suddenly get a ton of depth. I mean, another guy that I'm sure they're going to try to sign when Providence is done is Duheim, and so they can all of a sudden add a pretty good player there as well.
Good stuff, Michael. Enjoy Vegas. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, see ya.
Pretty little city built on a hillside. Music in the bars and fire in the sky. We went to the beach and it was covered in ice. And I used to call it home. So much coming out, there's nothing going in. I know that you feel like you're never gonna win. Oh, but the world won't forgive